What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to another video with Jeff from Sunshine Pet. Today's video is going to be what I do and how I breed black rams, but how I actually pick the ram pairs and how I actually determine if there is a pair in the tank or if there's actual, how do you tell male from female. So what I'm going to end up doing is showing you exactly how to determine those two factors. I'll show you a few pairs of rams, some fry, and some other things that I do to actually breed these rams, because a person asked me recently, what do I want to be known for? Like, a lot of people in the club are going to be basically pleco breeders, angelfish breeders, rainbow fish, so on and so forth, but my favorite is rams. And since I've actually discovered how to actually breed them right now and actually raise the fry, the biggest part was raising the fry and how to actually successfully doing that. So I think right now too, for me, that's what I'm going to focus on, and more expensive fish as far as river plecos and just different challenges that I've actually want to kind of focus on. So let's get into it and let me actually show you exactly what I do to breed these. So I'll show you real quick some fry. So these are the black ram fry. They're just in a 15-gallon right now, no substrate. I like the no substrate with the fry because it's easy to clean and the water's clearer. But you can see all the ram fry are healthy. I believe there's two in here that swim a little funny. There's one right there. Now you could cull them. Personally, I don't. I'll just give them away because it's a fish that you can't actually sell. But you could actually tell, too, that ram is going to be a blue-black, and then the like a ram like that could end up being a pure black ram. But some of them, there's a bunch of mixed ones in here, too. There could be electric blues, so on and so forth, but that's just the fry aspect. These are some pairs here. This is a electric blue. So we'll focus on this tank right now, and then I'll show you the actual my breeding tank. So you can tell this is a female because it is spangling on her side. With black rams, the male is going to be mostly pure black, and the little spangling on the side is how you're going to determine that as a female. With the male here, you can tell that the I guess it's a pectoral fin is a little longer, and then the back fin, which is there, is going to be, I think, longer than the females. Pretty much the easiest way for me to know the male is just always going to be bigger. I know there's different ways. This is just how I do it. And the female for the black rams is what I'm focusing on, is going to be have the spangling, like all those little speckles on the side. There's another female in there, but that's besides the point. Now I'll show you over here the actual breeding tank that I have. And the way I determined some pairs is, I know for a fact these two are a pair right now. That is a male, that is a female. So that male is pure black, and you can tell that male is being very territorial right now, and this is going to cause certain fish to have pop eye, which one fish in here does, because they are very territorial, because they are cichlids. Now that is the male for that pair, and the other female, it's hard to see because this tank, but the female is back there right now. They're probably ready to lay. So I think what I'm going to do is take those two out, and I'm going to try to breed them again because that is a healthy male. So what you want to do too, a lot of times what I've noticed with these pairs is you're going to get a lot of, a lot of pop eye, at least with these fish, because what I've been told is black rams are a fish that's basically bred to be black, I guess, because they're going to be more, unlike the wild types, they're going to be more susceptible. But you can see a clear demonstration of that male and how black that male is. So that is going to be clearly a male. So what I'm going to do is you can end up telling a female is pregnant, like most cichlids, and this is just a tip that I know, what I've learned. The female's belly is going to be swollen. And I haven't fed these guys today, so I know for a fact that female, it's hard to tell with all the algae on my screen, but you can tell her belly, her abdomen is a little swollen. So she's ready to lay. But what happens is, if the fish don't feel comfortable, they are not going to lay their eggs. This pair just ended up breeding and laying eggs on the rock over there, but I didn't get them out in time. So what I would do with most cichlids, and this applies for, I think, most cichlids, but only cichlids that I have are the angelfish. So I know for a fact these two are a pair. So this fish is actually pregnant right now, I believe, because the abdomen's a little swollen. But she's not full of eggs, but you can tell there's definitely eggs in there, because the abdomen for them, if I haven't fed them and it's swollen, they're ready to lay. So I just did a water change. They might lay, but I have to actually take these koi out, but I'm not going to, I'm just going to move them. I know I'm getting ahead of myself, but if they feel comfortable, they'll end up laying. It's the same goes for my black rams. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take them out. I'm going to put them in this tank here. Now, normally this is just my fried grow out tank, but I'm going to put them in here, no heater. You really should keep them in the 80 degrees and higher because they are cichlid and tropical fish, but I'm going to put them in here and see if they actually just lay. I'm going to put a rock in here. That's it. Keep it covered. So in a few days, hopefully they breed. I know for the fact, too, that this pair here is my most predominant breeders. I really like to get a 5-gallon or a 10-gallon setup just for them. And I'm curious to see if they would actually raise the fry themselves. What I do, too, is I ended up just actually breeding, taking the eggs out and then just artificially raising them. I can show you a quick demonstration of what I do for those. But it's really that simple as what I actually do. If you're in a store too, you can have the associates help you. But as far as black rams go, spangling is for the female. The male is going to be mostly dark. And then as far as the blues go, the female is going to have a pink abdomen, where the fin in the back there. Let's see. So back here, it would be pink, and that is how you tell for a female. Same goes, I think, for spangling, I believe, for male rams, gold rams, but something with the fin, but I just know how to determine it just based on their look, because the males are going to be a little more bigger. All right, now we are back, and you can see what I ended up doing. I ended up taking out the cracked, split in half pot, and then I put a bigger slate here, and then I did a smaller slate here as well. Now, normally too, I like to point out, a lot of people might end up maybe painting this. Fish want to feel secure too, but this particular situation, I don't want to paint this because this is my fried grow out tank, but I'm just putting it in there right now. The heat in here is probably in the high 80s, but I think these guys should be fine. But like I said, you can clearly see that fish abdomen is swollen. So hopefully tomorrow or maybe the next day or two, she'll end up laying. But this is what I do. You can put a little substrate, sand. I mean, it doesn't matter. I've bred fish in cold water. I bred them in warm water. I mean, it just depends on what you want to do. But I feel like the bottom too should be painted. I think I'm going to do that with a lot of my tanks. Oh, I might end up putting like a light substrate of sand, which I got from a pool store. But like I said, and the thing is, if you want to get them to breed, feed them high protein food, black worms. I feed them bloodworms. I feed them very little. I know an associate that I know, Daku Aquatics. He is a really great ram breeder. He gave me a bunch of tips as far as how to breed these fish, or just how to keep the fry alive. Daphnia, frozen Daphnia. Bloodworm's not that good for them because it messes up their stomach, but I haven't really had issues with that. That actually ends up breeding. Keep the TDS low. The hardness, you could put an almond leaf in as well. But for that, it's really, you guys figure it out as far as what works and what doesn't. This tank also, when you have 2 pairs in a tank, it's going to be a little difficult for them to breed. I know I have 2 in here right now, but these fish don't want to breed because there's 2 pairs in here. So I think, like I said, I might get rid of this tank and put 2 5-gallons here and split them up. I tried the whole kind of split between the tank dividers, but it doesn't really work. But honestly, that's it. That's how I breed them. And I know the video is kind of all over the place. It's a little different than my typical content or other people's content, but this is just a tip that I do. If you find it helpful, I would appreciate a like and a subscribe, comment, But a like actually helps because when you like the video, it kind of shows me what you guys like. This is a very long format video, basically uncut. I'll show you the fry right now of what I end this video because I say it a bunch of times, but unfortunately, I ended up actually putting a heater in here. It was 100 watt, but it ended up doing it, raising the temperature to 96 degrees because they were taking too long to hatch because it was in like low 70s as far as temperature because I didn't have a 50 watt heater available. But we can see that there's some still, I think they'll be fine. You can see the eyes and everything as far as the wigglers go. They should hatch in a few days. What I do is, this is a Halloween tub, basically from Five Below. I take two capfuls of hydrogen peroxide, and I simply just put the air on the eggs. That is it. I do a water change before they hatch to get rid of all the chemicals in the water, and then basically I got a Zis breeder. I have a video on this already on my Instagram and on my YouTube, that once they're in here, they get constant flow of water. So that actually ends up keeping them alive longer. I feed them egg yolk for the first few days and then brine shrimp. And I could do a mix between a powder. I have Aquarium Co-op's fry powder, Syria, the yellow container, and that's it. It's really simple. Keep them warm, because the warmer the fish are. But that's it. Other than that, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. At least just like the video. I hope you guys got something out of this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.